We are back today with another real life hero. And today we will learn how to de stress ourselves using art. Now, there are a lot of methods. However, this is my favorite method. And the guest today is one of my favorite guests as well. He's very special to me because he's been an inspiration for me in my art journey as well. And let me welcome to all of you Ashok Karnik, who is an established painter and is the founder of Art Space, wherein he teaches children and adults painting of different kinds and, in fact, all mediums. He has a history of being an advertising professional and has worked on very famous projects with Sony, Viacom, and then finally moved on to being an artist, his passion, and he lives the life he talks about. So let us meet let us meet Mr. Ashok Karnik. Sir, welcome to our platform. Thank you so much for accepting to come here and tell us about yourself and your journey.
Thank you, Hema. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Ashok Karnik, and it's a long story when I started to paint when I was a child. So, thankfully, I had the calling, as they say, since then. So, at the age of 4, I started painting, but never knew that I would make it like my life. So, from school days, I used to paint, and but in school, after some point, there was no drawing or art at all. So it was more academic and like how any other school was. Then after my 10th, I had choice to go science or the usual any commerce or any college, but I said, let me join an art school. And fortunately, there was an art school in Goa where I lived all my childhood. And I joined an art college there, the Goa College of Art. And my journey of becoming an artist began. And then I spent 5 years and got my degree of being a fine artist. But I chose to take applied art. Applied art is different from fine art. Fine art involves real paintings and everything. But applied art is all about typography, photography, using the art for commercial purposes. So
Amazing.
then I came to Mumbai after my college. Then in Mumbai, it's open for all kinds of things, options to join an ad agency or whatever. So I joined an ad agency, and at that time I had no clue. Even after while doing the college, I didn't know what I would do for living. And there were not those days. There were not too many options in Goa either. So I had to come to Mumbai. And then I joined an ad agency in Mumbai, like an artist, finishing artist. That beginning you are not given any big opportunity. You have to struggle. You have to work very hard. So I did all those rounds, and then it's been almost 30 years since. 30 years I've been in advertising and mainstream advertising. And then I became a national creative director in ad agencies. And that was my journey till as recently as maybe 5 years back. I decided to have another innings, different innings. And that innings is about teaching and art and painting and completely different what I used to do in advertising. Although there is a similarity between advertising, creativity, and what I'm doing now. In advertising, you do create a kind of a persona around the brand. Okay, you create a story around the brand, and that story either comes in a television form as an ad film or a print campaign or an outdoor campaign. So, and today what I'm doing is I'm painting. The only difference is I'm painting for myself. I don't paint for a brand or a client. So it's all for myself. It's all for your creative joy.
Yes. And the only thing, sir, that inspires me about you is to see you paint, because when you paint, you're completely lost. It's like you go into some other world, and you are typically not aware of what's happening around you, which is so amazing. So I also want to ask you, how has art influenced your life, your personality? Tell us about it.
Completely. I mean, art is, it may seem like any other profession. I mean, you become a doctor, you become an engineer, okay, and you become an artist like me. But somehow, since it's a creative, totally creative field in terms of art, uh, it changed my life. It changed me as a person. So the thing is, because I was an artist and art, a little thing about emotions played a big role in that. So you have become a little more sensitive, a little more emotional person. So nature also, I'm a very emotional person. So all that played a different aspect in life. So you become more sensitive in terms of what's around you. It affects you, good, bad, everything. So, but I started looking at things differently. When you look at nature, I look at as an artist differently than anybody would have seen, or even an animal, or anybody going by. I observe people. So as an artist, you start becoming an observer. You observe a lot and absorb, and that is very important for any artist to look around and see the world as a from an artist's point of view, or an artist's eyes. It's different from being seen now.
This is interesting. Now it also brings me to a question which a lot of friends, ask me that can this eyes be developed, or you're born with this artist eyes? Um, are you a born artist, or anybody can just become an artist?
Well, now there is a two thing I can say yes and no. You can be a born artist, as in you show your aptitude towards art or towards any field from childhood. So if you like music, you show that. If you're a sportsman, you show that thing from childhood. Okay?
Right.
You can see those germination of those idea, or germination of that towards leaning towards that particular field. So I had this from beginning. So I went towards it. But it doesn't mean that you cannot be an artist at any. You can be an artist at any age. You can pick up an instrument to learn music any age. You never know. At any point of time in your life, it's basically triggers. It's a trigger actually to be. And if I tell you anybody can become an artist, it's not difficult. All it requires is that desire. It's a desire, innate desire to become, or to pick up a brush and paint. That is important. It's not that you decide to become, or you take a brush and a canvas and you paint. It's not that easy either. It's just that there is a latent desire of your mind to really paint, and then with some reason you are not being able to do because you have other things, or you had other profession. You have got a big, but if at any age you can. I have students who are like 60, 70 years old. At that age, they decide to paint. Although they are not artists, they're something else. And they do paint. And then suddenly I find them a painter inside them coming out.
Wow.
So this is real. Age. This is real, that anybody can become artist, provided he or she has that desire within to become.
Mm-hmm.
You can't force anyone to become an artist. You can't force anyone to become anything.
Right. Anything for that matter. So what is the range of students you have? Do you have old patients or senior citizens who come down for art?
You won't believe if I tell you, I had a student from 5 years to 85 years.
Oh, wow.
So the 85-year-old grandmother could not sit for long. She used to travel by rickshaw all alone. She came to my class. She sat because she couldn't have had a lower back problem. She could not sit more than an hour. But look at the desire to learn something at the age of 85. I salute her. She came and she learned, and she did my classes, and see that. And she said, I asked her, did you paint? She said, never. I used to paint when I was a child in school. After that, I never painted, but now I feel like painting. And that's a great, that's an example. That's an experience I can share with everyone. See how she painted, and she loves painting. Now she cannot sit for long. Otherwise, she said, I would love to come and sit and paint.
Right. Amazing. And tell me, there is always a question, how early can a child start to paint?
as early as he or she can. See what I'm saying. I'll give an example about my daughter.
Right.
Okay. Since because I was an artist, I
Yeah.
said it happens in any homes. If you have a certain skill or your profession, it reflects in the house. If you are a musician, you will hear
Yeah.
the sounds and music in the house
Right.
throughout 24/7.
Yeah.
Like I was an artist, so I gave my child, 2-year-old daughter, paints, lots of paint into spoil. So she would draw on the wall, she would draw anywhere. It was all forgiven because if you're an artist, you have to be, you can't have such strict things. So she painted at the age of 2 with crayons. So
Amazing.
you allow the child to explore. It's all about exploring. It's nothing. It's nothing. Everybody, we are born to explore. The moment you are out in this world, you are exploring. You're seeing the world. You're finding out new things. You're learning new things. So give a child a tools and see what they paint. You'll be surprised. A child is a better artist than you. It's a very natural tendency to paint for a child. So give it as early as possible whatever paints and see how they flourish.
Yeah. Amazing. So I have people on chat saying then I can learn art too. I'm a senior citizen. So amazing to see that people are ready to take that bit of step, towards getting to learn art. Also, so I would, it would be interesting. I usually receive these comments, where art is very taken up by a lot of women or girls, and a lot of men shun away from art. Also, because probably, I don't know, maybe being a little judgmental, the expression doesn't come very naturally. So in day-to-day hobby listing, you see that a lot of girls pick up art as their hobby, while guys will pick up, batting, bowling, or cricket or sports. So do you have you seen any difference in your students in terms of girls and boys, and how the expression in children becomes better with art?
Okay, in fact, the world's most famous artists over centuries were men. Okay, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
there were no women. It was men because of men's society it used to be. So largely artists also were men. And if you see the world's today's well-known artists are men.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Absolutely.
the perception of becoming an artist is rather you leave, and especially men think that that's for kids, that's for my daughter,
Yeah.
that's for bachcho ka hai.
Yes.
But if when you grow up,
Yes.
you don't paint enough, and that's the kind of mindset.
Yes.
At least here in India, I can see. Perhaps it's not there abroad, internationally in Europe and America. In the developed nations, it's not.
True.
But in India, it's
Yeah.
largely that actually art and everything is like soft skills. These are like softer skills
Yes.
than an engineer,
Yeah.
doctor, which are like hardcore, very, very requires a great amount of whatever. I mean, skill, talent, whatever. But art is somewhere down as far as people's perception is concerned.
Right.
But so be it. I mean, you can't change everybody, but those today is different. And the students who come to me today, largely,
Yes.
they're women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very few men. The reason for it is men, I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is my study,
perception.
Men after a point don't want to learn anything new, is what my perception over a period of. Men will not want to learn anything new as such. They are very happy with their own skills and they'll enhance that. But for women, something very natural in their DNA, because they are women, they love to learn all their life. See, so many roles they play, women. So they are naturally tend to learn something. When she's a young girl, when she becomes a mother, so many things she has to learn.
Absolutely.
And that comes naturally for women to learn at any age. And she doesn't have any qualms or ego to learn at even 45 something. Yeah. But a man would not go take pains to go and learn art. So most of my students are women because they come at any age. Okay, they said, now I'm 50, my children have grown up and they are all now settled and I get time now for myself. So I want to learn art and I want to paint because this I always wanted to paint. But because of the home responsibilities, I could not.
Never got time.
Never got time. So it is sad, but that's the story of every woman. And then they come to me at that age, and then you find them really opening up and then really showing so much interest, and they enjoy more. See, what for me, what I always seek is, it's not that how good you are as an artist.
Exactly.
It is the joy they get. It is the satisfaction. It is the fulfillment that they are doing something after a long time which they wanted to do and which they couldn't, with whatever reasons. And that is where I see a lot of women coming and learning this art. That's my experience the last 4 years.
So now all the men who are watching this live and maybe who will watch it on replay, please make sure you reach out to a teacher like Dr. Okay, I keep saying doctor, so maybe you have to get a PhD in art now, because it's come twice. So you have to reach out to Ashok sir for learning art. Please get out there and dabble a little bit with art as well. So I also have a question here who talks about art as a therapy. So, can you talk a little bit about how art can be used as therapizing for the mental health or emotions per se? And colors, how are they used as therapy?
See, when I say learning art, and you can learn at any age, is we are not saying that you learn for a degree or to achieve something great. And you just learn for a new skill or a new, like a hobby. Okay, you are busy in your day-to-day life, so you want to learn something new. You can take up art if you like, or you always wanted to have a canvas in your house, or painting always interests you. Join an art class online or whatever, offline, or come to me and just learn something. See, it's like learn something. Whether will manifest into something big is not the point. Secondly, look at the situation we are today. We are like completely in lockdown, and look at the whole world is in that situation. In that, a lot of people are going through a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and even if they are not doing anything at home and everything is fine, they're working out of home, still there is a certain amount of freedom which is like curtailed. You can't do anything, you can't meet people, you can't shake hands with people. It's so much. In that, what do? Art really helps you. Okay? Yeah. Because any creative activity, be it art, music, anything, you do anything beyond your regular work, beyond your daily chores, or beyond your office work or whatever, art really de-stresses. How? So imagine you're painting, or you are involved in some art activity for an hour or an hour and a half. You suddenly get drawn into that world automatically. Whether you're an artist, doesn't matter. You may just have paints in front of you. Suddenly you are shut from the entire outside world. Absolutely. You're shut. Your brain starts working only in that activity and the colors. And what happens is you tend to forget for an hour. So the brain calms down. It calms you automatically. You don't think about it. And that's why you de-stress automatically. Okay. So for example, you have a lot of colors, paints, and you have a canvas, and you have any colors. It could be watercolor, it could be whatever colors you have, whether paints you have. Right. Look at the colors, ability of colors to really soothe you. Every color has an effect on your mood. Right. Every color, and we know this, and it's been proven by psychologists, by color therapists, and all that color plays a vital, important part in your life from childhood. You may not overtly say or whatever, but automatically it really reflects a lot of things. Like when, imagine, now I'll give an example. Imagine a hospital. Now, if you see in a hospital, there are no colors. There are no color in the hospitals. Are gray, light blue, white. Everybody is wearing white, so there are no colors. And if there is somebody who's in the hospital ailing or some kind of undergoing something, you always go to that person to meet with flowers. Why do you take flowers? Simple thing. Why you take flowers to hospital? Nothing else. You take a flower bouquet, you take hospital. Because flowers are colorful. There's no color in the
Yes.
room where the patient is lying. He or she looks at
Right.
the flowers. Now, when you take the flowers, the two things, the flower emanates aroma. So there is a
Right.
natural aroma and a fragrance which acts on the patient
Right.
in terms of making them fresh and
Yes.
making them happy. Even the colors of the flowers make
Yeah.
them happy.
Yeah.
So that is why color straight
Yeah.
away an example where color elevates your mood, makes you happy. Each color is makes you happy. Even for example, orange. Orange is a wonderful color. It's a color you see of sunset. Why do people go and watch sunset?
Yeah.
Why do people watch sunset? Because they want to see that orange ball
Yeah,
going
because
down.
it's soothing.
It's soothing.
Yeah.
It feel nice.
Exactly.
You feel very happy. I mean, if you know, there was a mobile phone called Orange. Do you know? You remember in the old
Yes.
days there was a phone. Why was
Yeah.
it named Orange? Because it was launched in England. It was launched
Oh
in
wow.
England. And England place is such, it's always gloomy, it's always rainy. It's always rain in England. So they wanted a launcher mobile phone which called itself Orange. And it's like sunshine, it's like happiness, it's like joy. So how
Wow.
color is used in branding, in your life and day-to-day life. And it's a great thing to, it's a subject where I also teach how color therapy works. So in effect, when you kept calling me doctor
Right.
by mistake, de facto, I
Yes.
become kind of a therapist
Yeah.
in a sense. Because I've been teaching now so
Yeah.
often, it also works as a byproduct that it gives a therapy in a sense. I don't do it formally, but informally, byproduct of learning and art is a therapy.
Yes. Yes. It definitely does. Amazing. So, all you people out there who haven't ever tried picking up a color and doing something, whenever you feel stressed next time, you know what to do. And I have one more person asking on the Facebook chat saying, what are the other benefits of painting? So we understand it's de-stressing and feeling the joy and satisfaction. Are there other benefits that you have seen for your students or for your own life?
See, there are many, every person experiences, different benefit. Somebody
Right.
wants to spend more time, have a lot of time and they want to engage in this activity. That's fine. Other people are sad and they want to overcome that sadness. So it's like, okay, that's like distress, sadness. You know what? It gives, I think art gives a sense of fulfillment. So what I've seen, when you paint, you also are creating something. Okay?
Right.
You're actually giving birth.
It's a creation.
Yeah, it's a creation. You're giving birth to a creation. So
so beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
That
so
thought is really beautiful. Yeah.
So moment you create something and that is appreciated by people around you, you share with people. That is so much, gives you so much joy and satisfaction just by sharing it with people and people acknowledging it and encouraging you, giving you a lot of confidence. You get a sense of almost like, people are just happy about it. Okay. So I know that, I mean, I can tell you from my personal experience. When when I paint something, I become a child. I take it and I run around and I show it to my daughter, I show it to my wife, I show it also to my house help. I show her, I mean, I become a child. And why do you do that? That's a natural tendency of a human being.
Yeah.
If you achieve something, you tend and run around and show. As a child also, remember, they discover something, they go running around and sharing with them. That is natural. So when as an artist, you become a child when after some time you create something. So that's a different thing altogether.
So, sir, but it also tells me one thing, that if you have to keep that child alive inside of you, it is very important to pick up art. Very beautiful thought that you've given us. I've never thought of art like this, but yes, what you say is very right. there is this childlike playfulness that comes inside when you're creating your work.
There is a child.
How much ever horrible it may be.
No, not that. That's not the point. There is a child in every human being, as in every adult, every grown up. There is a child in all of us. Okay. It's just that we have been conditioned and we have been cluttered our minds so much that we forget to be like a child. When you say you be like a child, doesn't mean you behave like a 4-year-old. It's just that you keep the innocence of the like a child. You keep the purity of thought like a child. That is why you say you
keep
be
the
like
essence.
A child. Yeah, child of like purity. It's like any thought.
Yeah.
Keep it pure. Keep it simple. Keep it uncluttered. Be like a child.
Right.
Be explore. See, a child always is much. They have a potential to explore much than an adult. Adults are just formed. They are like done with. They said, now I'm done. I'm now sitting over here. Children are not there. They want to find out. They are curious. So curious mind is a great mind. That's why, like a child, be a child. That's why Picasso said it took him a lifetime to paint like a child. It took him a lifeline to paint like a child, Picasso said, because he really understood the real painting is like child. When the child paints, it's really a great piece of work.
Yeah. So actually to bring that curiosity alive is also one of the important benefits I see that you say about painting, which is great. So I think we are having a lot of questions from adults. So somebody says, how do we really manage our time with art? Because it's time consuming.
Yeah, see, now you can give as many reasons as you want. Okay. It's not at all time consuming. You have to make an effort to allow yourself to flourish, allow yourself to be happy. Otherwise, you won't. You will have hundreds of things. I'm sure they're all busy. Okay, you must be busy doing so many things. You go to gym, you have to do a workout, you do your shopping, you go to the daily, daily market to buy something. You have, of course, you have office.
Right.
And today, I mean, in the last 4-5 months, people have ample time. Nobody should crave saying that I don't get time. In fact, for the next 6-8 months, people have a lot of time at home. In fact, they must take
this is well said, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're all busy that way. I know everybody is busy, but today you have to take time out for something like this, which is going to help you, which is going to keep you in a much better mood. You can easily be very happy about.
So it is all about prioritizing and, nourishing yourself. How much really you want to do that for yourself. So there is another question, which is also interesting. It says, but it is a very expensive hobby. How do we sustain it?
See, not necessarily it's an expensive hobby. You have to see what are you going to do. You are not going to get the world's best paints and the world's best canvas, the world's best everything. You just
that is not required.
No. What you require to begin with, just a few paint and a box of say charcoal pencil or drawing pencil or a box of watercolor, small and paper. I mean, you can. I think the idea is not about cost or a hobby. I mean, you are not going to do a painting exhibition and then you want some big, great paints. You're just starting. Start simple. I mean, just how much you spend for a movie. That's all you need to spend for art material. I mean, initially, till you really start enjoying. But then you start more enjoying it. Then you can invest a little bit more, and it all depends on how you look at it.
Really. So starting is the key. At least start. And then we'll see as you progress ahead. Yes.
Absolutely.
So, so there is another question which says that, okay, it's the same that art is very time consuming. I think a lot of people find it time consuming. Huh?
See, I have a answer to all that.
Yes.
See, when you're learning art, for example, currently you're learning from your comforts of your home. Okay. Currently, because of the pandemic, you're from home. So you're sitting at home and you can do an online class and you can learn. Okay. It's an hour class, 1 hour.
Yeah.
If you are painting on your own,
Yeah.
You just spend 15 minutes time
Yeah.
if you have every day, or at least spend weekend. I'll tell you about myself. I had a corporate job. I was a
Right.
creative director in ad agencies. So I didn't have time
Oh,
at
yes.
all.
Yeah.
I didn't have time at all to paint. So only time I could get to paint was on Sunday. Because on Saturdays also we are constantly thinking about work. I mean, even if I was in advertising, it was although 5-day week. Saturdays it was not like Saturday, Sunday. We just had great time. We had to work sometimes campaigns and something deliveries. You know how life is, and today everybody is also working on weekends 24/7. But on Sundays I used to paint. I used to take time off in the afternoon or morning and plan it and say, no, I'm going to spend this time for painting. So I was a weekend painter. When I was doing my job, I was a weekend painter. And that way I created a lot of paintings in the house. In fact, just to tell you that I have been, in 2011, okay, I started painting portraits for Sachin Tendulkar. So I just was watching a match, IPL match, and I just loved his batting. And of course, everybody loves and everybody. I was a big fan, or I'm still a big fan of Sachin. Like everybody.
Yes.
And I said, okay, let me paint Sachin. So I did one portrait of him in watercolors.
Okay.
And that one painting, when I did a second one and third one, and I never stopped. For an entire 2 years, I was painting Sachin Tendulkar. 2 years.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Wow.
I have painted maximum number of portraits of Sachin Tendulkar in the world. I can claim it. Nobody has painted 40 portraits.
In the world, That's amazing.
Who has painted 40 portraits can tell me, can come and tell me. I have done 40 large portraits of Sachin Tendulkar. I met him. I gifted him portraits of his.
Wow.
And he signed those portraits. He loved them.
Amazing.
I had an exhibition of Sachin's portraits in Dubai, in Bombay, and everywhere, Mumbai, and in Pune. So I know that, okay, people have painted Sachin. You know, they may have 5, 3, 4, 5, but 40 portraits of one, such a big fan. And
it's huge.
Huge. So this is what I'm saying. I should find time.
Amazing.
I did this when I was doing a job. It's not that I did it anything now. When I was very, very busy.
So it's not impossible.
No, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible.
Right. So find time and start small. You don't need to invest too much. Start with low cost products. First start. Important.
Yeah.
So, another question is, how do we proceed ahead from the first scary thought of putting a brush stroke on a paper? So people are scared to start a painting because they don't know what to do. So how do they start with it?
It's you know, then you have to learn something.
I'm sure this again must be an adult question.
Of course, it's an adult. You give paints to the kid. Does the kid say, what do I do with it? Does the kid say, how do I apply? The kid he goes berserk with those paints. He just goes, take the paints and just puts on the canvas. Just do that. If you want to start, take a canvas or even a paper. Forget about canvas.
Okay.
Take a paper, put it on a board, buy some crayons or paints or a brush and a poster color or anything. I mean, there are very reasonably priced colors in India, Indian brands. Use them, paint anything what you feel. Don't have to, I mean, don't start by saying, I'm not a painter. I can just paint anything, any thought.
Yeah.
Basically, it's an emotion. It's an expression. Nothing. It's an expression.
Yeah.
So it can be an abstract painting. Just paint. Okay, you want to learn formally, you want to learn some basic rudiments, then it's a good thing to start by, because a lot of people don't know how to use a brush. How do you mix colors?
Yeah. How to hold a brush?
Yeah.
Say simple things.
Yeah. How to create a purple color? If you don't have a purple, can you create a purple? Yes. If you don't have a green, can you create green?
Yeah.
So how do you mix colors?
Yeah.
So all that you need to learn from a teacher or from a class or from an institution.
Right.
But if you're an adult, you will not join an institution. You would want to learn from a teacher or a mentor, like me who teaches. So you learn from the basic rudiments, the basic techniques and styles.
Right.
And then later on, you can paint on your own once you understand the basics.
So well said. So basically, start at least with whatever you have, and then you can reach out to a teacher like Sir or any other teachers out there, and get a mentor for yourself. If and invest some time in it to see all these benefits in your life. Really, Sir. Also, tell us that if somebody wants to create art as a profession, then what are your thoughts on it? Because a lot of people think that it can just be a hobby. Nobody can become an artist and earn money. Only
Really?
famous artists earn money.
No, no, it's not that. See, one thing in this field, like any other field, you have to be extremely good. Okay.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to go to a doctor who's not so sure about his
Yes.
treatment. You want to go to the best doctor. Okay,
Exactly.
when you're treating yourself, you
Yeah.
will say, "Is he the best doctor? Is he the best heart surgeon? Is he the best?" It's like that. So when anybody goes to an artist, he has to be a good artist. That's prerequisite. You have to be damn good as a teacher or a professional. So only when you're good, people will take notice. People will see your art. People will be interested in your art because you're painting something different. You're painting something which that connects with them. So it's not that every art who becomes who just does art courses or whatever becomes successful. That goes with any other profession. So what I mean is, you can become a professional. If I tell you a story of a person I know, you'll be surprised. So many years ago, can you hear me? Many years ago, I met
yes, I can.
Yeah, a friend's wife was asking me, how do you paint so well? I wish I could paint. I don't get time. I have kids to look after. So she was much younger than me. So she asked me, I am in awe of you. You paint so well. I can't do like this. I wish I could paint and stuff like that. So I said, why? You just take a brush, start painting. He said, what are you? You don't have to do anything. You're at home. You're looking after kids. Whenever you have time, paint. And years later, a few years later, maybe I think about 8-10 years later, I find her becoming a very big artist. She's been showcasing her work in Lalitala Academy or modern this thing in Delhi, in Bombay, and doing exhibition, and she became an emerging artist in Mumbai. Suddenly, from a mere...
This is inspirational.
This is just amazing. I was so happy that she told me, and I just said, okay, you can do it. And I didn't know she would take it seriously. I mean, everybody asks and they say, okay, do it. And anyway. But all credit goes to her that she just made it big. And she's like, a lot of her paintings are sold. A lot of people ask for a painting. And she's an amazing artist.
Amazing. Wow.
I mean, that is what I'm saying. That, you can find your calling. You can find a passion. You never know. You may be a doctor. You're a doctor.
Right.
And suddenly you love doing paintings. And suddenly you exhibit them.
Right.
And suddenly people say, wow, this is something. And then that becomes your calling at any age, and you become more of the kind of a artist than a doctor. In fact, I know somebody in Goa who's a doctor by profession, but he's known as an artist.
Wow.
He's a doctor by medical profession, and he left his practice after education of medicine, and he became a full-time painter.
Wow.
Okay, so he's a doctor by qualification, but he's a very big artist. Now, what do you say?
Yeah. So basically, you never know. You can stumble across a new career on your path to exploring art per se, which is so beautiful as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
there is...
any question?
Yes. No, I will... Yeah, there is a question, but you finish and I'll take that question.
No, I was just saying that today's a lot of young kids. I will talk about the younger generation.
Yes.
Okay. They are well educated and qualified. Okay. They go and study abroad, do their masters, they come back. And suddenly they realize that this was not my calling. I don't want to do a corporate job. All the youngsters today, they don't want to do a corporate job. They don't want to sit 9 to 5 and very, very, very kind of a atmosphere which is very corporate. So I know once a person like that was educated abroad and all, and she came and she said, I don't want to do this. I said, then what do you want to do? I want to be an artist. Then I said, why did you not join an art college? And instead of doing that, you became an economist. I said, no, I did it because...
Exactly.
So whatever the reasons they had. But
Yeah.
now she's an established artist. She became an artist. She came to me. She did her classes.
Oh,
And
so
she became an
now,
she became established artist.
so now this interests me really. So somebody who's not taken arts or have learned it in their college can actually end up becoming an artist with sheer perseverance, interest, and desire.
They must have that passion
Yeah.
and some a bit working hard and doing something. It's not that suddenly you say, I want to be an artist and you become. You have to have that, I said, passion completely. And you must say that I want to become an artist. And you must, and then work hard. I'm sure it's not easy. It's not difficult.
So, sir, these gorgeous painting that you make, how many years of art has gone behind this? You've been painting since how many years? Just so that people know that behind the scenes, there is so much of hard work and, consistency over the years to come up with what you are today.
Okay, now I will not want the parameter to be me as an artist. When first I did my art college, I'm a qualified artist. Okay. But then my entire career was advertising.
Exactly.
And in advertising, I didn't paint anything. As in, I didn't do a canvas, I didn't have a brush, I didn't have to paint anything. So, and after digitalization and the computerization, everything is done on computers. So today everything is done on Photoshop and everything is used like the CGs and animation. And so nobody uses a brush anymore.
Exactly.
So I, for that matter, my entire career, I didn't pick up the brush. I said, I used to be a weekend painter. So painting was once in a while. It was not that regular I'm painting for last 30 years. It's just that in the last about 10 years, seriously, the last 10 years, entire my body of work is only 10 years work.
Wow.
Before that advertising work, I've got huge body of work of advertising. Now that's different.
Yes.
That's a creative campaigns and all. That's a different field I work. But
absolutely different.
Pure fine art in any form, whether it's portraiture, landscape, or figurative, non-figurative, abstract, or semi-abstract. All my work is last 10 years body of work. And that 10 years, it is now in the last 5 years, it has become extensive. Before that, it was on and off, as per the mood. But now it is regular. Now it's my life. It's my life. So now painting every day, I get up every day and paint is my life.
Which is so amazing. And I've seen you do that. Just stand in front of the paint and paint away to glory. So, which is also very inspiring for me. There's a very interesting and sweet question which says, is art more for extroverts or introverts?
See, the lot of artists by nature, they are very shy. Let me tell you honestly. Most artists are shy. Okay, they are shy of public places. They're not extroverts. But if they get another person like them, okay, then they open up. The artists are very quiet, shy people. They are introverts in a way. But if they find another, you will not find an extrovert like them. They just change or they show different color. So it depends. Okay, it's for both. Nothing like extrovert and introvert. But by nature, artists are shy. They're like quieter people. They want to be in their own space, and they get in. They're loners also. Like I'm a loner. I just love to be alone. I won't mind. But my advertising profession has made me an extrovert. I mean, I was not like extrovert as such, but because I was in advertising and I had to deal with clients, brands, and meetings and teaching nurturing young talent, and that made me a kind of a teacher or a senior person in the industry. So naturally, I had my communication skills. So I became an extrovert.
You will not imagine, sir, when I was circulating the invite to all the groups and etc. A lot of your colleagues from advertising contacted me saying that, oh my God, I know Ashok. How do you know him? So I know that you are very popular on the advertising front also. A lot of people speak very good words about you and you had a very successful career therein. So, sir, any few last words or last message for... okay, I have another question. I think I'll take that also. So, do you think art taught in Indian primary schools kill creativity rather than enhance it?
100%. If you want to kill your creative talent, go to school, learn drawing in school, you're dead as an artist. My daughter, I can tell you,
Yeah.
was an excellent artist till the age of 4. I
Okay.
thought she would be India's great artist because she showed some amazing talent at the age of
Yes.
3 and 4. I can tell you not because she's my daughter, because there was something in her great. She went to school
Yes.
and she became so ordinary in drawing because the teacher told her not to do this and do the way I'm showing you. So that what teacher was showing you, a flower or a mountain, and
Yes.
what you did, what I did in school, they're still teaching the same thing in school: how to draw a flower, how to draw a house, how to draw whatever. And
Yeah.
a child which has a kind of a brain which is so fertile and which is so, it's like they can absorb and they can do something amazing. Okay, look at kids today, look at children today. They're very easy in technology. Why?
Yeah.
Because they
Very
are
fluid.
absorbing, they are very, very quick. Now,
Yeah.
for that child who's ready to explore in terms of art, they're fed with something very, very basic and very dumb. And they think that kids are dumb and they give them some very ordinary art and they lose interest in it.
Yeah.
They lose interest because there is no proper thought and formal training for children on art. Likewise in music also, there's no music in schools. So so there are no institution of music. Only when you grow, you learn on your own, you join institutes like music.
Yeah.
Now recently there are music schools and great whatever. But look at children who join art college. They are in school, they don't have good art. I mean, there are no teachers. There are no good teachers. Because you can't pay, teachers are paid art teachers are paid so low. You can't get great talent in art teachers when you pay them so little. And art anyway is not a priority to school. I've been saying that. It's very badly managed. All
it
artists,
used to be an optional subject for us as well in
artists,
school.
they all come from small town. Look at the painters and artists in India. They come from small town. They will painting painting in small villages. And they great artists come from smaller towns. Where do they get exposure? They learn natural, they learn the tribal art and they learn the folk art and painting in rural India. And they then come to cities like Kolkata and Delhi and Mumbai and join art schools. And then they really hit big. I mean, there are so many great artists who come from small towns, but they don't really get a chance or a platform, initially. So they are just naturally talented through maybe passed down art culture, which is in India, more retained by the rural art than urban. So urban, there's no art. Urban people don't do art. They just learn art schools and they become artists, modern artists. But the real art in India is in the villages, in the rural India. It's the real art.
That's the true art.
Yeah, that's a true art. They've kept it over the years.
So hopefully this is also a message for all the schools, and if we have teachers and principals or people who can make this change watching this video on a replay later, please take it up, include art prominently in your syllabus, and also in order to create creativity for children. Very
create
important.
An environment. I mean, schools should create environment. Not necessarily they must have their art. May just make an environment such that it's more playful. It's more like children can explore, have competitions, have inter-school competitions largely on art, have debates, call in some great artists. Even just for a talk in schools. In fact, it just creates so much inspiration for children to see artists coming and visiting and telling them or showing them work. These things have to be done, but unfortunately, I don't know. It's like whether the schools have that priority or whatever. They have their constraints, I guess.
Yes. No, sir, we also had a discussion before the talk, and I want you to kind of point out on that of using art as a medium to bond between family members. So I really like that point, and I want to talk about it a little bit because we don't do that very often.
See, very simple. If you see what has happened today, if you see, when we were, at least in my generation, I can say, when we were kids, I used to play as a child with my family. So I used to play cards with my parents. I used to play cards with my sister. you had an activity. I played carom with my siblings, carom board.
Yes.
We used to have a carom board, and so there was an activity. Okay, besides, so we used to gather around a table to play carom or cards or do whatever. Those days there was no television as such, but there was no other activity. Today, what has happened is families have gone apart completely. Nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's got their cell phones. So in a house, today in my house, we all are in one room, but we are not talking to each other. We are all removed from each other, far away from each other. We are constantly on the mobile,
everybody's
either on watching some kind of content. Okay, but we are not talking to each other. We just talk to each other, just head up and just, okay, have you had dinner? Okay, let's have dinner. But look at everybody's conversation in the homes. It's nothing but the basic, and rest is everybody's in their own cell phone or in their own device, and which is so sad. Okay, so I was thinking, why can't you make art a thing of as a together? Make it like you can paint a painting or create something with your daughter, okay, with your son or with your spouse or sibling or some family member. So make it like a group activity. It can be two people doing a canvas painting or some kind of painting at home, and then you can put it in the house saying that it was done by this. And there's so much joy to create like a family. Okay, 4 of us create that
together.
Situation together. See, although art is normally a person does it himself, but today it doesn't have to limit to only one person. 2-3 people can paint. See, internationally today, there are art painters. Today's time I'm talking as just maybe 1 year back. Decent. And all top watercolorists in the world's watercolorists got together, and there were 3 top watercolorists doing one painting. Now imagine the world's best watercolorists painting one large painting. I'm not
together,
and their styles are different completely. One scene in Europe, the painting of some place in Italy or something, they were painting or in France, and the 3 artists painted a large paper. They're painting watercolor. Mind-blowing work. What a video it is. I just watched and then said, beautiful. All 3 are different styles, but they painted one painting, and it was like one seamless painting. It didn't look, this was done by this person. It just looked done by one person. How? How can 3 different people paint one painting and it looks one piece of work?
My God, I'm getting goosebumps.
You should see that. I will send you the link.
Amazing.
It is just that those 3 just got into each other, so united, like in their mind, so that they did fantastic. Somebody is doing the car, somebody is doing the bridge, somebody is doing the building. Same way, it's a large painting. They're coming in and taking the paint and standing. There are a lot of people watching, and beautiful. See, they can do it. You can do it at home. Make it like like an activity as a family, and imagine what happens. It's priceless. You can put it up in the house.
Absolutely. I mean,
becomes priceless.
Hearing this is giving me goosebumps. I definitely will try this with my family. And this also tells us that art is not just an hobby. It is much more beyond, and also gives us a lot of benefits, including bonding with our own family members, which is so amazing. I never thought of it that way. So thank you for this perspective of it as well.
There's so many things. I mean, there. Time doesn't permit, but it evolves. A lot of ideas come, and because I was in advertising, and my job was to create ideas, so I'll always be an idea person. So even if I'm a painter, I can also think of various things we can do, because it's so much. It's not limiting. See, don't confine an art to a paint and a canvas and nothing. It's beyond all that.
Absolutely,
it's much larger than what we all perceive art as. Okay, this is just a drawing. It's like a painting. No, you can make it really as big as you can. The benefits are just incredible. Too much. Okay.
Right.
And the positives of it. Don't see the negative. Okay, there are of course negative to everything. It's expensive. It's not possible. I don't find time. You can all say all that, but look at the positives.
Yeah. So, sir, any last words for our audience before we close this?
Just start. Take your brush tomorrow. Just call me and do your classes with me.
Yeah.
That's it.
And just start. Sir is very good. And
Yes.
also, thank you so much, sir, for coming down. It really means a lot to me because you are my inspiration. You know, you opened a lot of my creative channels as well. And for people who want to, who will be watching it as a replay, and if you all have questions, please put it on the comments because sir is here only and we will get him to answer all your questions. Plus, we will be posting some some work on the page so you all can see his work as well. Of course, you can Google him; he is super famous. And
No,
once you Google him,
you
of
can see
course,
on my Facebook and
sir,
Instagram. That's it.
sir, if you Google your name, you are all over. I'm telling you. So he's pretty well known, and yeah, thank you so much for people
Awesome.
who are first time viewers on our channel and who are seeing this for the first time. I am Dr. Hema Bajaj, and this platform is called Lose Your Blues, as in lose your stress, and we advocate stress-free living. So if you want to watch us more, please be here next Saturday 8 p.m. with another real life hero. And thank you so much to my real life hero.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Emma. Thank you, Emma, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank the audience, your audience here, for giving their time here and listening to this talk. It's not my demo or anything that they could see, but thank you any which way. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Take
people.
care of
Thank you
yourself.
so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.